Jenner, okay, is a trans woman, and it's not necessarily about like, as you can see, I look more like a dude. I look more like a guy, but that's just the thing. It's like Daniel.
Oh yeah, so with trans too, you guys, watch out for this. Watch out for this with trans, or like shy, right? Or shy, whatever you prefer, right? Watch out for this with trans, and tell me as well, like, um, right, because everyone can brand differently within trans. Okay, watch out for this thing where it's like, this is also trans as a brand, where it's about like looking like the gender you weren't born as. Like, it's not exactly the actual logical framework of trans. Like, the actual logical framework of trans is where I feel like I'm a modern day Muhammad Ali, and he was a, like, back in the day, April. Okay, is that like it's more about the concept of being able to self-identify, which is a basic human right. Okay, so they're gonna want to make it all about like, and still again, like Tomu Brand's great. Like, Tomu does pull off like that femme look too, right? I'm more of masculine, right? So like for me, it has nothing to do with like necessarily like appearing like um, the girl from Twilight, you know, Kristen Stewart or whatever. It was Kristen Stewart. I'm not sure. Is not that's not the angle, um, or like and that's not the angle. Like, but if that's the angle for you, that's cool. But they're gonna want to make it look like it's all about the like the transvestite, like they want to make it look like this what something it's not necessarily, because that's why you're gonna see Caitlyn Jenner in the mainstream more so than like myself, for example. Because like for me, it's more about just like self-identifying, right? So yeah, like that's actual trans. Like it's not about like how who looks the most like it, like for people with male genitalia, who looks the most like someone who might have been born with female genitalia. Like that's not what the actual argument is. Is where I like Cheyenne a lot. Right. So okay, for me, it's like looking pretty is cool too. You know, like that's what Lee said. Like, and I'm a hell of a lot prettier than you. Okay. So all right, let me see this YouTube Studio. All right, cool. Again, you gotta stream some Darkstalkers 3. Details. This will go into X Files. And then there will be some streams I just don't make onto YouTube. That's fucking fine. Like, I'm not gonna go back in time. Like, I'm streaming I'm streaming so much. It's like this is like my fucking shit right now. Um, yeah, something to do. You know. And also, it's like I do feel like I'm making progress. Like, this is the thing I'm talking about with Tova. It's like even if they're suppressing the content, I'm still making progress. Okay, I'm still boosting the fucking account. We're gonna get Boas in there at some point too. Um, yeah, I think Boas is also a blue. Boas is also blue. Super common, guys. Like Sloane's a blue. Like, but that was cool. This guy Russ. This is cool. I feel him on. He's a pink. Dude, see, he's pretty. Look, he's a Kimberly. Like, he's a pink. Dude, that no, like, fuck with that. That's fire. Like, being a pink, being a dude who's a pink is fuego. Like, that's clean. It's South American. Also, like, Gabe would look good in like kind of like a large, okay, Vans shirt. That kind of like classic Vans shirt. You know, it has the like just says Vans on it. Okay, so pink Vans shirt, large with the white font. Look good, South American guys, right? Um, South American guys pull off pink hella well. Like that dude gets fucking laid, dude. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pop in Cursed. Actually, the Wes Craven one kind of slept on actually. Um, I think it's kind of slept on. The actress in it is hella hot. She also gets slept on. I like the actress a lot. Um, Christina, I guess Christina Ricci, Christina Ricci, I guess. It's Ricci. Dude, she's hot as fuck. Like, she gets slept on. And we're talking about Wes Craven. I'm talking about this girl gets slept on right now. Oh, you gotta get the headset. You gotta get this shit going. It's the Xbox 360 headset. It actually literally doesn't even have a wire. Oh no, it's Bluetooth. Bluetooth. They're like the idea, like the Jeroni land, like the idea that like that guy can't talk like John. Like, well, we did see the head kick possibility in the DC fight. We thought the head kick was possibly there. You know, like, John Jones can main Carlton too. Like, he's like John Jones, yeah, John, the one they call John Jones. What you'll start to realize is like once you kind of start to make it to the table, it's the ones who are at the table that you're less scared of. Like, they're like, here's the weird the weirdness of it. The ones who would fight you choose not to, and the ones who have something to say and shit won't fight you. Like they that's right, exactly. So it's like it actually becomes really difficult to actually get a fight. It has to be someone who more just has like a primal fight response. Okay. Like I don't think I'd end up fighting Russ. Like I think that we'd get along well. Yeah. Okay. So go. Hopefully. Okay, November 30. Shit, this just came out. Okay. Utah? Alright, that's cool. It was only like 2 minutes, like hopefully this one goes up, like, and it just get the copyright, cause like there are times where it's like I just watched the Masvidal fight, so it just like, you know, content block, and I could see that. I guess this guy's pretty popular, but his name is Russ. Okay, this guy's good though. Like that's the thing. Like, you know, me and Mag might disagree sometimes. Like, this guy's pretty good. The way he looks, the way that it looks pretty good. I have a boner for Russ. Cool. Are we preparing this download? Let us just continue for a second. I'm gonna be streaming at Dark Horse Day.
This guy on YouTube, or whoever the hell was unnamed, to remember content. Okay, so this is supposed to be an inclusive platform. I'm one of.
And I think it's dope that we have like a white PR guy. Honestly, I think that's dope. Right. Right.
So it's extremely disrespectful. Okay.
Like I have to be from 8 Mile. Okay, look.
You're suppressing our content each and every day.
Yeah.
So I can see the way you look. Right. So like sure, like this is more higher up on YouTube. It's more bureaucratic, and you should have to. The person should have to be named. Okay. And so I can reply to them. Well, I guess okay. Look, you should have to. Maybe they go unnamed, but I can reach out to them personally. Right. You know, I'm doing PR for this collective. Alright, so that was like a 3.5 hour long video. That was really cool. That was like one of our best videos so far. And so that's like really, and I worked really hard, and you know it. But I'm not mad at your truth. I'm just appreciating his point of view. Right? But yeah, what I'm talking about is that it is absolutely true that your opinion, one's opinion of oneself is paramount. So you want for Shapiro to get to the point where
Paramount's so fire.
His role on her. Where she is not allowed to identify as a woman. And again, I appreciate where I come from. I'm talking about is that like I believe they're both right. And so basically,
Me and Sean are different. Is that like for Sean's more like posturing in a way where it's like talking shit. And kind of like, and for me, like I'm trying to, for me, posturing more in a way that's like fair. Like I think that Sean wouldn't be as quick as to defend Shapiro's right to identify religiously. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is not as... That's more taboo. Right, basically. More taboo. What's up, Kid Boo? Hey, what's up, Kid Boo? Right. Sure be red, what's good? Alright. Alright, cool. What's up with X? Did he actually die, or was that a fake death of Freemasonic fake death? Like, he's gonna like come back to life as like XX. He's like his twin brother that no one ever knew existed. Like XX Especial. XX Tension. XX Especial. No, I'm his twin brother. XX. Oh, how about the Paul Walker thing, dude? Mac has a dope video on that one. Like, that one was outrageous. Okay, I'm sorry. No, they literally did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right, Tarantino might have a special touch. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right. There's a lot of shit that's just it's like reality television. There's a bunch of shit like that, dude. And like XXXTentacion could have totally been like that. All right, like dude, like I don't know about that one. Like basically, I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. I'm not like really gonna die on that hill by any means, or disrespect like someone who might pass away. At the same time, she's a. Okay, hopefully this one goes I mean, worst case scenario, if we get the second strike, right, then what could happen is like, this movie came out around the same time as Sin City. It's called Cursed. We were just listening to it in the background, but a scary movie 3.5. That must be a classic. So retarded. So yeah, like there on the bright side, XXXTentacion might still be alive. Yeah, like dude, they do the Paul Walker one was ridiculous. Okay, like look. No, they like some of them are just ridiculous. Okay, it's physically possible to do this. Is that where I'm coming from? Brother, and now his brother is in the scene. Cody Walker. Cody Walker. It doesn't even have a picture. What? Cody Walker. Cody Walker, though. Oh no, I'm tripping. That's kind of fair. All right. Oh, Caleb. Maybe I could be tripping. Yeah, they're just all good looking. They do look hella different. Maybe I'm tripping about the Paul Walker thing. I just remember like his I remembered this differently. Like it's yeah, I'm sorry I believe in the Mandela effect. I don't want to disrespect someone who like passed away or whatever. Maybe Paul Walker is like the best looking of the three. Okay, I'll retract the prior comment. I understand the concepts of possibilities. The concept of possibilities. I think there's a possibility that XXXTentacion is still out there. Maybe it's a low possibility. True.
Everyone is allowed to self-identify religiously and gender as well. Okay, so.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I believe in the Mandela effect.
One of them is now forced to.
I don't believe in the Mandela effect.
Because it's imposed upon them is extremely discriminatory. Is anti-Semitic towards Spiro, either
I do believe in ancient aliens.
Or transphobic towards this woman.
Okay, is it not kind of fun to acknowledge, like entertain the idea that XXXTentacion is still alive?
I'm not entitled to your opinion on yourself, so my opinion of you is necessarily based off of your opinion. My opinion of you is your opinion of you. And I think that's a good point there. So
That guy was also blue.
Again, like, it sucks that someone who's not my friend took this
Blues are common. Reds are common. They're all common. You know, like
mags content, I suppose. Okay, I'd love to see specifically. You'd have to be YouTube. I challenge you to be more specific. What? So if someone went through the video and watched it, right? Because that's not automated. So, what was it specifically that incited violence? Like, I have this like joke, like I'm anti-establishment, so I have a joke of like, they're gonna do this. I'm not trying to say we should go kill it. Like I'm saying, world wars do start because of imposing one viewpoint like upon another person. So
again, we're going to be streaming a little Dark Talkers.
All those years invested is
and she does have some ovals and vibes.
To come out transgender is horribly difficult. It is the most difficult thing you can do. I've been overseas. I've flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions.
But she's from the same tribe as Owen Wilson.
Done service and like she served in like as a troop. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like this person is exactly right. Like I'm kind of like that too. Like you see my point. Like I'm trans too. I'm kind of like this person. Like I'm Daniel April. So my main names are like my primary characters, right? Like how you see I was good with Ike. He's not my main. He's more of like my secondary. My main would be Zero Suit Samus. Okay.
Yeah.
But but I appreciate that I have feminine characteristics. So this is kind of similar. Like this person processes those things differently than myself. And we agree that there's a spectrum.
Like
So
wants to have fun.
Are my primary names. Okay. My secondary names are okay. So Daniel also appreciate my masculine characteristics, and they also appreciate my feminine characteristics, and more like the quirky side of my personality. What I'm saying is that this is super transphobic on YouTube, but okay. Secondly, my secondary names.
Dude, she's super hot.
Fighting names.
She just subbed on.
Using and so one of my favorite teammates, and my primary teammate is Tomo, my friend Tomo DJ, who's trans.
Dude, this girl gets fucking subbed on. She's bad, dude.
As well. Okay, and my legal representative, and who's also again dating a black girl from Oakland. Okay, so to suppress our content is extremely transphobic.
She's like a big forehead.
So, but at the same time, my opinion is that like I'm also Hebrew. Here's the problem. So this is so discriminating, so this is so unfair. Like basically, so you're both being transphobic and anti-Semitic technically by taking the video down in a way. Like, or I don't know about like basically I wouldn't say that anti-Semitic, but oh yeah.
She's like blonde now.
Sullivan,
She looks good with blonde hair.
And Ravine, which is kind of like a stripper name too, to appreciate. And sex is not a sin. Being sexual is not a sin, and like largely trans has lots of sexuality. So Ravine is to appreciate my feminine characteristics.
She also knows, she can change her color of her hair.
Daniel, April. Look, let's get this perfectly clear.
You want to act like that's like hella bad for your scalp or some shit, right? You'll lose all your hair if you do that. No, they don't want you to be dope as fuck.
You should explain to me exactly what was hateful, what was the
Like the contacts are probably dope too.
Because a lot of people like working at YouTube are more like trying to be fair and ethical. This was not to remove this content.
That is it.
It was based off the fact that we had like Tyler's content involved. Cool. And Rangers, I'm saying like whatever, like we're branding to like we're trying to build this platform up, but we're being
I'm making like I'm pumping out content like a motherfucker, dude.
It's because our content on YouTube is suppressed. Okay. So because like YouTube, you need like YouTube, dude, and like if you look at my other accounts.
Oh yeah, BLM ran like as though like white people aren't attractive, like or like white dudes aren't good looking, like Paul Walker or some shit. Like all girls agree, all black girls agree that Paul Walker's hella good looking, or was hella good looking.
And then I not only do I start content suppressed, but so like it seems like no.
Oh yeah, and what they'll do is they'll just take one thing I said and then like take it out of context. But I literally don't care.
You need to have a a serious discussion about this. Like, I'm not messing around. This is so transphobic.
Doesn't work on
so,
us.
Like, it's not just transphobic. It's just this is so discriminatory towards this platform. It's not me. I'm not mad, dude. Like, this is a multimedia platform with a shit ton of racial diversity to it. Like, because you're suppressing us, my friend Sai from my marketing classes. Alright, let's look at Sai down. Like, I'm not the person you want me to. Like, the reason that I'm anti-establishment is because, like, I'm anti-YouTube.
He also likes looking good.
Like, this is so unfair. And you'll be able to see, and
I can't afford the side shit yet.
Is trans too. So the person who plays with Zelda, or you know, again, I'm practicing against computers, right? But the person who plays with Zelda is trans too. Like, this was a largely trans platform, like trans-friendly, LGBTQ-friendly platform. The last thing we're doing is inciting violence. If anything, by removing our content, you are inciting violence because, like, I'm a voice in favor of everyone's right to self-identify, everyone's right to, and again, everyone's right to compete. And so, I'm trying to. This platform ultimately, we're going to do fundraisers to raise money for lower class communities, so those people have more opportunity to compete, right? And largely, hopefully, ultimately sponsor like players like FGC, Fighting Game Community. We're talking to one of the best players in the world. Okay, I have a 42 game win streak, Mortal Kombat 9, like me and Sonic Fox, as I mentioned, are cool. Right? So like, and inciting violence, like I'm not the one inciting violence. Like world wars start because of shit like this. Okay. Because you're silencing freedom of speech, because it's speech violation. What was its specific merit? You don't care it. You don't care. That's why. It's because you don't care. It's like you don't actually. You're intellectually lazy. All right, like what I'm doing is trying to prevent violence. But if the people running the news programs are to, and so the point Mags makes as well, are to inflame race relations, which is exactly what we're trying to fight against in Ghost Town Rangers and Multimedia Collective, right? And you are to suppress our content, then you are now inciting violence because you need voices like me to prevent violence and to make sure, like, if someone needs to kill someone else, they have now basically imposed their worldview in a way that is tragic and has removed that person's, like, even, like ability to even self-identify in the first place or continue to compete. Right? So they should really buy us something to eat. But because not just me, dude. I'm doing PR, April, like ALI, and then PR, do constant PR. All right. So please do not remove this video. If for me to, and I'm Hebrew. So, like, and I'm not Hebrew in the same, not every Hebrew is exactly the same person, right? So I'm not Shapiro, right? I hella disagree.
And Carlton would get cracked. Carlton would get cracked.
Please don't remove this one. Right?
Carlton would get cracked.
Shapiro is absolutely by the same merit, like logically speaking.
Carlton, you would get cracked.
An opinion, but like logically speaking,
you're ridiculous.
entitled to define gender based off genitalia.
I know you look like your will, but you're Carlton.
Is to believe that this person has male genitalia.
You're just Carlton, dude. I'm 6'2". I could fuck you up. Like,
Shapiro is
you're just Carlton. All right.
To as a Hebrew as well, religious rights. Yes, he's wearing a yarmulke, but religious rights. I'm also Hebrew. Religious rights to
you're buying into this BLM as a brand nonsense. Like, and that's it's
this person's worldview, which is completely
weak
cool.
shit.
Like,
Shot, stab, being brave is being yourself. And
so
being
this person has masculine characteristics and feminine characteristics, but identifies as a woman, which I appreciate.
Is about the bravest thing you can do. Does she deserve the award? Yes.
Why would mainstream delusion? Is that delusion? Why would you call it delusion? Because Bruce, Caitlyn Jenner.
Shapiro's such a funny character, dude.
You're not being polite to the pronoun. Because disrespect. Okay.
Also, you like to fight politics. It's just lit. You know what I mean? Like,
chromosome. Every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that
Shabira's such a fucking asshole, dude.
I'm trying to de-escalate, like improve relations between like religious and trans, right? So like I think that his approach is really like aggressive, and I don't think he's inciting violence, but I just like wouldn't like necessarily take the same approach as Shapiro. But I do believe that Shapiro exhibits a fight response to preservation theory. How do you uphold how does one to uphold the sense of self when faced with like an opposing intellect? So like usually like Shapiro has this fight response, it's almost like an adrenaline. Right. So for him, it's really important to establish that this person is a man. Or like, which I disagree. That I think Shapiro is a little bit too like if his viewpoint, which it is to that he's be allowed to uphold his own worldviews, right? You know,
Again, I'm stating opinions. It's a fucking opinion. Right.
Worldview. You know, like he has to like really just sink his teeth into it that little extra much, and that's where I would say like understand.
I'm trying to be as fair as possible.
On the conservative side of this debate, that you don't have to necessarily be like basically like we should respect each other's on both sides. We should respect each other's right to self-identify. This is where I really like the name Muhammad Ali. Okay, I was trying to see what I mean. You really need to have a discussion within YouTube. You realize there's nothing you can do. It really has more to do with the people controlling the wealth and these who are really suppressing trans activism. Right. So that's why I'm anti-establishment.
Yeah, I'm trying to get our platform less suppressed.
On the other end, the argument is on the other end. And it's just a gag. It's like talking about John Jones helping me take down these. Like John Jones beat DC not once but twice. He beat these. So not once but twice. John. So, but now, like on my bucket list, and I live in the Bay Area, is for these for and again these votes. These votes, I'm questioning the legitimacy of the votes, which is a liberal thing to do as well, right? So I'm questioning the legitimacy of Schwarzenegger. He wasn't even the most popular candidate, right? Clearly. I'm questioning the legitimacy of that vote that happened a long time ago. Like, I'm allowed to question the legitimacy of like Nader, right? Like I'm allowed to question like maybe it was a rigged election. Yeah. And how was it rigged? Maybe maybe it has to do with the Freemasonry. Maybe all of this has to do with Freemasonry. I'm not inciting violence against DC. I think we should have.
I'm allowed to be wrong too.
Basically, I think
you're scared that what I'm saying may be true and you were fooled. Like that there's a possibility of that.
That's inciting violence, dude. People get shot and murdered because of the news inciting violence, dude. Like, God. All right, dumbasses. Okay, excuse me. All right. Like the news is hella inflammatory. It's not like watching our content, which is just basically so we could uphold the peace, but we also want to bring more opportunity into the red line communities and third world nations. You see what I mean? Like we want to distribute the wealth. Okay, so this is from hell that our content is suppressed when we are the ones who are proponents of creating opportunity where opportunity is not in abundance.
This is what I mean. It's like if you're actually proposing solutions, like IKEA, they don't want to hear it. They want it to be like eternally impossible to fix this problem. So that they can play out because they're sociopathic. So IKEA is cool. Harry can pay for it. Because Maddie's dad's name is Harry. But no, I'm talking about Prince Charming, dude.
And again, I like this guy regardless of the politics, right? But then again, I'm not sure, like, he might be just, like, I'm a marketing major, he might be appealing to a certain demographic. Like, as you can see, there's a racial diversity within this guy. This he seems like a cool guy. Like, and I like his. For me, personality is paramount over politics anyway. And like, I would love to grab a drink with this.
Yeah, like if you're understand that the guy that you're watching on the left there is 6'2".
Come on.
That's not a small guy. Like,
I'm as good as Mango. Like you see my point. Like you look at my brackets. You look,
like John Jones is 6'4". I'm 6'2".
This is not a good look for YouTube. Right?
Navy blue.
A lot of people are behind me. I have a
And in
following.
Navy, we have to train with everyone. All right, it's like baseball.
Our content all you want, but I do have a following. This is people are starting.
It makes SIMU. It makes SIMU.
The more you kind of like, the more you fight this thing, basically like.
Guy who made more comments.
Like we can live with that. Like I want to have a copy for myself, so maybe I'll upload it to a Google Drive. But like,
we have to play more black.
Without that,
that's because you guys are suppressed too, like in the red line community. Like brown and black. You have to do you have to do weird things to try to like compete. Like,
if you're working for YouTube,
I'd be like, I did it.
We're in like agreement with that. Like you've got to be kidding me. You should talk to Tomo, my manager.
I really established him as my manager.
And I agree with that guy.
That's fucking Lynn, you know it.
The message in the messenger. He basically just, in his own right, kind of took the same stance, you know. But at the same time, like, right, like that guy wasn't saying that like Shabiro's not allowed to be Hebrew, and that's where it becomes like wars start over this. I want to prevent World War III if I can. You know, do you see my point? Like, you guys really, this video should be watched by everyone at YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna upload this one. Okay.
Oh yeah, and in like being black, like there's still Kimberlys, you know, like there's still like glamour queens, you know. I mean, like then there's like think of her as like a pretty girl, you know, like a Barbie. Think of her as Barbie, you know, like okay Barbie, you know, like. Yeah. There's ways to win for everyone. Everyone has win conditions. Okay. You might not be as pretty as her, you know, like. And then outskill her. Yeah. Singing career is fire. Fuck with singing career. They want to act like you have to win American Idol. That's not true. Right. Go to open mics. Also slam poetry.
So I see.
Look, my cherry kiss blossom black skin. You are racist. You have crippled me. I run up the house. I jump out the window. I break my leg.
And we'll talk about
Look,
violence.
You are racist. You are like.
So I just.
That girl. I go to the open mics. Okay, like. Dude, she's cool too. She's cool too. I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying. Like, it's kind of fire. Like, I'm not saying it's not fire. I'm just saying. Like, I'm not even saying I can see the game she's playing. Like, I feel her. It's just.
He agrees with me with Melee. Basically, me and Shabiro can be friends, and we're both Hebrew.
They like misunderstand Dan.
Shabiro's a fan of Joe Rogan. Shabiro's a fan.
I feel like I'm living in a cartoon, kind of like.
As a political progressive. Okay. So, and dude, you're facing someone from hell. Like, I do PR. I've been on this 6-month unpaid PR campaign, and we can't even raise 10 views. And how about Me Too? Like, let's not even just, like, you know, let's not, like, even go there. Like, as far as, like, people playing at YouTube who are playing unfair. Okay. This is before we even start talking about Me Too. Alright. And then the suppression of a Me Too victim. Basically, this is exactly what Me Too really looks
I'm getting like,
right, basically, if you speak
I'm
up,
becoming like Wayne Gretzky of this shit. Like,
and that's what exactly what they're telling me.
The
to
great
shut the
one,
fuck up,
dude. Like,
okay? Like how? Okay. You don't want me as
I'm from
your
8 Mile,
opponent,
man.
Right? Like I rarely lose in the games either. Okay. You're playing like a cheater. You don't have to tell me why. You don't have to tell me the specific, the actual merit of it, like what specific points I made that incited violence. When I say we're gonna take down these, I'm talking about MMA. So, and I'm also talking about it's like a joke, you know. Like I'm saying that I want to challenge the establishment right now in a way that is to prevent violence. Right. So and that's completely fair. Like I'm happy to go to war, And maybe we're gonna have to, because this is exactly, and watch this whole video all the way through. People at YouTube, look, make damn sure that they watch this one. Alright.
Oof.
Whoever it was that took that one down, you can talk to me. Like, but you don't have to. So I'm challenging you. Alright. Who was it? Who was it that watched it and decided who was the judge and jury on that one? Because I disagree. And so I've appealed this, and I say it's okay to take down the video, but at the same time, understand the level of transphobic, like the transphobic, like basically, and we're trans. It's important to understand. Okay, and again,
beautiful.
I have a fight response too, and so does Shapiro.
Awesome.
Okay, even
Thank
in terms
you.
of debate, it's like a feeling. Okay, so look, here's the thing. Okay. And again, the fight response is
I tried to cut right.
this
Like,
person
I
has
think
a
they
fight
appreciate
response.
that.
Zoe has a fight response too. Alright. And we're gonna see that in the video here. Right. So, okay. Where I was going with that was,
Ross though.
there's no transparency.
Exactly.
So
I mean, I'm playing more black right now.
Policy,
Ross is good too, though. Like, Ross, you just gotta get the Backstreet Boy thing. Like, you're missing the Backstreet Boy component, bro. Like, yo, feel me on that. No, you look, you have to play black to make it. You have to play super black to make it. Like,
but and what I'm actually appealing to
like,
level people at YouTube. Alright, so I'm gonna maybe actually, you don't understand, I might actually win over some of the opinion, you know, that's been this way throughout human history. You control the laws, but what I'm saying, it's so important to understand. Okay, world wars start over this. Okay, by basically
fucking Gabe, it's a zombie music, whatever.
To self-identify, like I don't have enough money to change my name, right? Largely because we haven't. Look at this. Like,
no, I think it's cool.
Again,
I just like I just don't know how to spell it and shit, dude. Like, get your shit together, Gabe.
Unbelievable. Okay, that we're both getting the content expressed and getting a violation. I guess they don't.
For shame.
Harry doesn't much like me. Harry doesn't really much want to share his wealth. Okay. Alright, so total raise $0 fucking dollars, dude. I'll share the GoFundMe and I'll read this right now too. Alright.
This is why I like Cody a lot, man. Like, Cody understands, and so does Emily. Like, and Winter too. Like, this dude. What we're trying to do. I mean, what we have already done. It took 2 years.
Excuse me.
Like, 2 years, dude, since we did the 2020 freestyle. Like, 2022 now. Like, dude, that fucking flew by. All right, like, crazy.
For like 6 months. This has been here for 5. Okay. It's on our Facebook and shit too. Alright, view fundraising. Alright. So read more. Alright. Twitch.tv/ghost_town_range. And again, this is like this grueling. This platform is really cool. You know, like it's just been this grueling fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like this guy works for The Simpsons even. This guy went to Berkeley School.
Good shit. Thank you. I thank you.
Not the plants. He's part of a collective too.
Yeah,
so
Rasta.
The plants like are one of like the really big donators to the Democratic Party. Like total raise $0 fucking dollars, dude. I'll share the GoFundMe and I'll read this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Dark Soccer 3 soon. I just want to watch some of this. This might be a longer stream.
You fundraising.
This is the essence of Blue Guy now.
$100 goal. I've been streaming.
I mean, like, this stream's super black. Like, it like puts you as like the star of the
5
show.
months
Yeah.
ago, I've been streaming consistently.
Yeah.
You know, like, for 6
like
months.
it like hella raises your value.
5,
Like,
it's on our Facebook and shit too. Alright, view fundraising. Alright. So read more. Alright. Twitch.tv.
like you're now like Jimmy Stewart, right? Like you're Conan O'Brien.
Platform's really
Like
cool.
now you are Conan O'Brien. Like,
Grueling fucking shit.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this guy works for The Simpsons even. This guy went to Berkeley School of Music. That's Maddie. Obama has been to his house. He's not the plants. He's part of a collective too. So like the plants like are one of like the really big donators to the Democratic Party. Like basically Obama has been to his Bender's house. Ben Affleck at Bender's house. He didn't even go downstairs and meet Ben Affleck, which I disagree with. But
Obama might be whack. I'm not sure.
This is
Like
really
that
cool
guy might be
you
like
know,
horrifyingly sociopathic.
Actually, winters are over.
It's possible.
don't
Like, I know
how
you
long
like
it's
him.
gonna be.
You know, like
This is like
he might be
rolling
like
battle.
you know,
Like,
dude. He
um,
she's very pretty. Dude. Like
taking money off
she has
my
the
foot
features.
pocket, like, what does it say about you?
That's it.
You know, like,
Show Savannah.
the initial founders, we started in the garage. Okay. Oh, look, I really have that. Right. So, and as you see, like, the more you do this, it's such a favor.
That guy's like a fat bitch about it.
He's just showing that.
Yeah, Sons of Blue as well.
YouTube is
Right.
largely part of the establishment. And I know this Square
Blues are cool as hell.
Like, we've already Secret Senior plays that. So
Again, like I won't be necessarily making it about I don't want it to be about myself. Like
because I'm the PR guy.
I'm not the only one who wants to have fun. All right, try and get that Santa Cruz.
Oh yeah,
Try and get, dude, pay for its fucking self. Don't act like it's not Hollywood as fuck at this point. My level of skill is fucked.
Because
April, Ali meets PR. I mean, Ali of PR. I only knew he was up against a white establishment, and so do I. Just stop grouping me, like, stop being, like, so mean.
On me after, and then the police took pictures of me all bruised up and battered. My neighbors said, "Hey, listen to Dan. Like, he knows what the fuck he's talking about." The police took this is in the records of PAPD. I am a completely sober person. I'm completely clean, right? And when I made that video, it took 3.5 hours to say I was completely clean too. I'm just saying, I see the game you're playing. Right? So, you have to be very, in the future of these hate speech violations, this is just true, and I know you're not going to acknowledge this, okay, because really...
I'm going to say clean and sober, where's I like telling dude, I'm saying clean and sober until something happens. Like, I'm right now, I'm onto Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew. Like, I'm actually going to go back. Now I get to go to 7-Eleven again, like, yes.
That violation, it must be specific. Okay, they must specifically
Let's
say,
be
or else it's breaking the
specific.
rule.
You are
They must specifically
racist.
say
You are.
what it was.
I'm not so stupid that I'm gonna be the guy who's like, you're racist against white people.
And then I should be able to specifically contest that. Right? So basically what I'm saying.
I know I'm white. Look,
Go ahead, take the video down, but we're not.
I'm middle class
right?
white
So
guy
I'm a huge advocate
from from NorCal, from there. I'm in beautiful Palo Alto. Like, but Palo Alto's fucking fake as shit. Like, it's like literally like a movie set. Like
this is like my life is this is all I'm doing. It's like really.
Like one of those like
solace
nuclear bomb
like,
testing
really
towns. Like, you know what I mean?
Alright. So I'm a victim of sexual
Hills have
abuse
eyes.
as well. Alright, so
Michael
I'm
Berryman.
a huge advocate of survivor centers. We've raised $0 so far. Right. Lower class. And let's just cut it. We all know that there's some bullshit involved. Okay. I think that's well established. So lower class families, homeless Americans. Right?
I'm gonna be doing a Darkstalkers arcade mode run for Ghost Town.
And save our stages.
Because also keep this in mind, guys. Like part of it is that I want to make it myself too. And I put in 16 hours. I did everything I was supposed to do to Connor's 16-hour days, and I'm still doing it every day. Like I'm still getting more skillful every day. You learn something new every day.
And that once we raise $100, I'll split it like basically at $33 a piece. Maybe I'll keep $1 for myself.
And dude, if you work for YouTube and you're kind of like trying to kind of see our point of view. I mean, I'm the PR guy. I think it's dope that we have a white PR guy. Like honestly, I think that's fucking cool. I'm 26. You know, like we're hip, right? Like we're cool. I think it's dope. I think it's really important that our PR guy's white. Actually.
utilizing, and you feel free to contact us, you know, or post a comment in the video, right? YouTube, you're suppressing, like, unbelievable the way that YouTube has conducted themselves, like, to be honest. Utilizing actual, and actually I know I have friends there, and I want to appreciate you, but utilizing actual issues for personal gain, more common than not. Rely on trustworthy organizations that are truly nonprofit, volunteer labor exclusively. That would be my, preference. Trust your bullshit meter. If something seems off, it probably is. And again, I'm happy to send you proof of the financial transaction. Trust your bullshit meter. If something seems off, it probably is. Right? Hold on to profits until the choice can be made confidently. So once that's $100 goal. So having even $1 would be really encouraging after 5 months of this, and not making $1. Don't turn a blind eye because it feels more convenient. So I'm trying to be outspoken against Broadmoor, Jimmy Savile, and pedophilia within Masonic masonry. I'm not saying that we should go cut everyone's head off. I made it very clear that I don't think we should go kill people or like kill the like Club 33 of Freemasonry. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, I believe that there's reason to believe that, like, children are getting molested every day as a systemic, like, basically, like, rape culture within Freemasonry. Right? 1000 Gwynedd Street, Palo Alto.
Okay.
And this is exactly rape culture. Like, just because I speak up,
Actually,
like, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Right?
We'll just watch the end of this video because I've been routinely. I have the book of Shitty Lie right here. I literally have the book of Shitty Lie. Like if Freemasonry.
Care about anyone other than myself, the money still goes to a good cause. Okay.
It's kind of like a secret tree house that runs the economy.
Alright, I'll be posting this just in the description for this video. Everyone at YouTube should have to be forced to watch the video. Just to see this is not Niagara Truth, this is not Strawman Dan. I've made several videos showing.
It's horrifying. Like actually, in fact, like the people who are in charge, it's like they're like kids. They're like little kids. Like
let's finish out this one. Right.
They think they're pretty smart.
I think like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
They don't give you access to knowledge, basically.
Well, no, your genetics. So that's.
So this is exactly why you don't do the Klinefelters. Like Shapiro's gonna fire back. Shapiro's really good, right? He's gonna fire back with the Klinefelters. What he just did was exactly what I said. Like he's gonna just challenge you on. Okay, you're arguing the margin. Like so you don't have Klinefelters. Exactly. So now you're screwed. Okay, in the debate. So that's what I'm saying. People at YouTube, get with the program. Stop suppressing our content. Can we agree that like that video goes down, but in exchange for you stop suppressing the content? Would that be fair? Right. But no, you're suppressing the content of someone who's actually a trans activist, so you're inciting violence in a sense. Okay. So and like again, this is a very trans friendly platform, LGBTQ friendly platform. In fact, this platform is just based off of our we have the entirety of LGBTQ within those avenues. So like really, like I'd say, and you're included in Ghost Avery. If you're working for YouTube, this platform is your platform as well. Yeah. Like this platform transcends YouTube. Alright, the platform is more like even is like less tangible than that even. So
I like Castlevania.
Of like civil rights movement.
Dracula's Castle.
Alright, and this is why. Right? Like, dude,
I can't make it to Dracula's Castle though. It's a broken pyramid.
The government, the establishment. So I'm also anti-establishment. I mean, like, I'm pro-establishment. Just like I just don't trust the people who are running the new mainstream media. And again, those are like MAGA or okay. I think that they're inflaming race relations, which incites violence clearly. Okay. And so they love inciting violence. Like honestly, like in respect to like the news will always highlight like basically white cop shoots black kid or like black kid shoots white cop. You see what I'm saying? And it's always something like that. Okay. And okay. And that incites violence, that inflames the situation. Like we need more voices like Daniel April Solomon Irvin. Tell me. Sarah. Right? So okay.
The genetics and back to the brain scans.
So this is what I'm saying. Like just stick to Okay,
Kira's good too.
You might as well call me Cassius. Right?
Like just because she's not Tomo doesn't mean that she's not Ranger.
Saying
Like
that person's not allowed to self-identify. Now the argument
she's politically, she's also like a political activist. I would argue.
Right. Because I would not make.
That's what I'm saying. That Ghost Town is for her too. Like she can help with PR too. Like me and Kira would be from fucking hell. Me and Kira on a team together would be from fucking hell. All of it. Yeah. Right.
Okay, well, why was Muhammad Ali referred to as Muhammad Ali rather than Cassius Clay? Identify different way. Why is Shapiro allowed to be Hebrew? That much different way. Why is Ali allowed to be Muslim? Identify different way. Why am I allowed to be Hebrew? Identify different way. Right? Why am I allowed to be trans? Identify different way. My own opinion of myself is paramount. And no one can, that's a basic human right that no one can refuse. No one can refuse. Right?
Put that out now, or you'll go home in the ambulance.
It cuts both ways. Right. Shapiro.
That's how people feel about me.
Well, I very much agree with Zoe politically. Right. So, like, and the funny thing is I agree with Shapiro politically. That's the irony. Is where I'm actually like, is where I like tell her too. Is like I'm actually trying to, like, this is good for religious and trans relations. You see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So when you'll go home in an ambulance. So this is kind of like showing, it's always kind of like a role model. And again, I like Zoe. They're like, if she's a role model here, and again, this was really a long time ago too. I think Zoe would be appreciating some of the things I have to say. Right. So like, you're not allowed to molest someone because of holiday cheer. You're not allowed to molest someone because they're queer. You're not allowed to remove someone's content because they have a certain viewpoint that might not align with your own. This hate speech violation needs to be more specific. Like when they're debating here, they're being more specific. Right? Look. I mean, kick your ass. This incites violence towards Shapiro and Hebrew, like more religious Christians and Hebrew, like who are entitled to their own worldview too, which is entirely okay within your religion that gender is based off of genitalia. That is absolutely fine. Like Zoe should not be forcefully putting her worldview upon Shapiro, but this was the moment this gender debate got heated, and I agree with that.
That seems mildly inappropriate for political discussion.
No, I know. Well, wait to be.
Okay, and Brother Basin theory, I believe that because Shapiro continued to look at Zoe, Shapiro was exhibiting a fight response. I think they both have a fight response. This person has more of like a physical fight response, and this person has more. They both have a very like this person is queer in my opinion, so much. So this person has like more of like a. So I'm just keeping you honest here, guys. Like this person has more like in terms of debate, like a hardcore fight response. Okay.
Fair, but you said not to be fair. Wait, but maybe not genetics.
Discussing genetics, right?
Well, no,
Your genetics.
Yeah, so that's a checkmate. That's a checkmate. Do not go for the Kleinfelders thing.
The genetics and back to the brain scans. You cut that out now.
Debates can end fast.
Like, this is what I'm talking about also with...
That's how I play too. Like that's how I'm gonna crack Shapiro.
Right.
It's like when I cracked Wristman, I'm like, are we gonna uphold Dr. Patient confidentiality? No, we're not.
And then this person wants to fucking tear Shapiro's head off.
Like that was a fast fight. Like you can cut someone's head off hella fast. Like,
That seems mildly inappropriate for political discussion.
like you can hit logical fallacies. Like right.
And this guy wanted to say something too, which is completely fine.
Okay, let me really fast. So why was that checkmate? Okay, because debate. I'm saying Shapiro. I like Shapiro a lot. Like he's actually like okay. I play fighting games, right? There are times where it's like my hit just landed and your hit didn't. Okay, right? So for a logical reason, like for example, that like maybe we press a button at the same time, and I press jab, which is like Balrog has like a 1-frame jab, and you pressed heavy kick, and then that takes like 12 frames, right, or something, right, and then like and And then so mine, I just beat you to the punch, right? So, with the Kleinfelders, okay, so it's like, well, there is Kleinfeld, so that is like to state the argument that that the gender is a spectrum, right? So, unfortunately, I just wouldn't go for that. One of the reasons why is because it's you have to like establish. There's more moving parts there. You have to like really establish that your argument is that he says your argument should be, if you're going for the Kleinfelders, that because of Kleinfelder syndrome, I believe that gender is more of a spectrum because you can there are people even physically who are in between somewhere. But the thing is, then Shapiro, it's just like Shapiro's argument just is nasty off that. It's like, well, do you have Kleinfelders? Because I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about you, Zoe. Like, do you have Kleinfelders? What do your genetics say? Okay, now you have to now you're backpedaling and you have to kind of go back to your argument that it's just a tough argument to make. Like, do you see my point? Like, the Kleinfelders is like, it's kind of a checkmate there because like the Shapiro stance is, I'm not talking about someone with Kleinfelders. That's a different discussion. I'm talking about you. All right. Because Shapiro's stance would be like that I would have a different opinion possibly like in that scenario with someone who has Kleinfelder syndrome, right? But that doesn't apply to everyone who's trans, right? So basically Shapiro's argument is stronger. And then when your argument is stronger, their argument is longer. All right, so don't make the long ass Kleinfelder. Like, it's just not what we have in fighting games is optimal. It's just not the optimal argument. I wouldn't even call it viable. Like, there's certain moves that are just almost unviable. They're sometimes there just because it's so stupid it works. But like the Kleinfelder's it's just not smart. It debates a lot like fighting games. That's why Shapiro said on his Twitter, "I'm Peach," and I said, "I'm Samus." All right, because he agrees with me. He's like, okay, like yeah, like if you have more health bar, and then they have like less health bar because Samus has more knockback, and then Samus has an advantage, even though she's considered the 11th best character because of bureaucracy within Melee, which is where I like Tomu, which is fucking retarded. Okay. So, okay, like they don't want to play Dan, like, all right, like, no, I found my Rhonda. So anyone text Rhonda and say like, Dan found you. Dan found you. Okay. Chase is good at judo too, and Chase is a white conservative guy. Okay, if you're white, it's almost like more safe to go for the conservative thing. Okay. Like, look, they don't want to just like play Dan Samus. Like, you might lose to Dan Samus. You might lose to Toad's Yoshi. All right, like you. This is them. This is them. This is a normal sized bottle of Tahini. Like, this is how good they are at Melee. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I play in the scene. Like they're cool. I like NMW. Okay, so yeah, Kleinfeld. Okay, so if you want to argue for the trans debate, a good name to bring up is Muhammad Ali. You're allowed to self-identify. So you are allowed. So my argument's stronger. Like, so Shapiro, just as in the same way that you are allowed to establish based off of semantics, we're establishing definitions, Shapiro. All right. So, like Dan is from hell. Okay. So initially, I'm going to say as my argument. Like, let's say we both get to state our like opening argument. So like, and I'll play kind of black too, right? And so does Shapiro for that matter. So like, that's why Shapiro's so fucking good. Like, he breaks the rules a little bit too. So like, so basically, what I'm gonna say is like, okay, so as my opening argument, I don't know what Shapiro's opening argument is gonna be, but I'm gonna debate Shapiro on the trans issue, and I'm gonna basically bury him, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna say, all right, so we have to establish definitions, right? I'm Steven Crowder. The semantics argument. So Shapiro, we have to establish definitions. This is a logical axiom, right? So it's gonna be a quick fight. So okay, so we have axioms. So we have to establish our definition. So Shapiro, I would like you to establish your definition of what defines gender, right? Like what defines gender, and then I would, by that same merit, I would like to establish my definition of what defines what defines gender for you, Shapiro, and what defines gender for men. All right, and here's where I'm gonna kill him. He's never faced this argument before. For me, I'm gonna say that for me, gender is defined by like your definition of gender. Okay. And so then when Shapiro identifies gender as based on genitalia, I'm going to agree with him, based off that is your semantics, like that is your definition, and I appreciate that, and I'm also Hebrew, but at the same time, while I am Hebrew, I'm not as like much of a Hebrew purist, right, or whatever. I might not say this part, but I believe that, like, for me personally, I define gender based off of the fact that I have both masculine and feminine characteristics, and my dad's dick was the paintbrush, and my mom's vagina was the canvas. Right. So I have both male and female characteristics. So I am somewhere in between in the spectrum. In fact, I do believe in the spectrum, kind of like, and I actually am closer to the masculine. So I'm 63. Masculine and 37. That's to be a little bit funny about it. Like, I'm also gonna tell him, like, I'm hardcore bar curling for him. Like, possibly we'll have fun with it. Like, if we're selling tickets, like if there's money to be made, then I'll make sure to appreciate that. Like I like that we're I have to make it into a show as well. But ultimately, my argument is from hell because I agree with Shapiro based off of his world. I think that everyone, like Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, like, you're entitled to your own religious beliefs, and if that entails that you, in his world, gender is based off of genitalia, then I appreciate that, and then I would say that now, Shapiro, you are imposing your worldview onto me. Okay. Right. So if he wants to like say that I must uphold your religious views, Shapiro, right, even though we're both Hebrew, right? So boom, done. You're allowed to self-identify. All right, that one's one and done. Identifies Connor. I'm trying to give him one. Like, I think that, and Shapiro likes me a hell of a lot more than a lot of his competition. Like, a lot of his competition. Oh yeah, and then when Shapiro's talking, I'm gonna go like. It's just for Shapiro, like, it's gonna be hard not to like Dad. No, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Shapiro schooled Zoe right there, in my opinion. Like, don't go for the Kleinfelders one. It's just not optimal. Like, right? If it's there, it's there. Keep it in your back pocket. But like, I would be really concerned. I just honestly wouldn't touch it. For me, I wouldn't touch Kleinfelders. Like, I wouldn't go for like, I wouldn't go for like a bison scooter, like that at like close range. You know what I mean? Like I would go for a crouching medium kick, because what is a bison really, is it gonna like have that much of an offbeat timing? Like, no, I'm gonna go for bison scooter at perfect full range spacing, one time every 2 rounds ish, like if that. Like, all right, right on.
Sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's biologically
I mean, in bison. In SF4.
You know very well that saying that to Zoe would be outrageously.
Look, that video was from 8 Mile, dude. Look, that video had sound, and also it's like that was like cool for like in terms of, I would even go and say a body image. Like, I'm kind of like Rondo with the body image thing, like body image stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you don't even bro on Hebrew, bro.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tyler's a heavy percent dude, but I'm saying like he's one of the YouTubers I really pull.
It's a coincidence, basically. That's why I'm Hebrew. I didn't remember that I brought up Rondo.
A couple things really fast.
So I'm agnostic in that respect, or whatever, right? Like, I process it by being Hebrew.
Right. First.
I'm also a numerologist, so.
Your feet to the fire here, guys. All right.
I'm a proponent of gematria. We're gonna finish this video, and then I'm gonna do an arcade mode run for trans rights in Darkstalkers 3.
Kosher. Right. So, here we go.
You're allowed to self-identify.
after the mausoleum of Halicarnassus, now a part of Turkey.
So they want to make trans something it's not, basically.
Sees the following diagram of the streets and interconnection of monuments. The geometry consists of a pentagon.
This is my argument. So I'm happy to engage. I'm super confident in my argument. Like, I play clean as fuck. As much as I talk a lot, dude, when it actually comes to the fight, I am just clean. Like, I simplify this shit.
Scott Circle.
Like, also, I don't count Shabiro out. Like, I'd love to debate him. Right? I'm just really confident in my argument.
I found a pair of 3, 4, 5 triangles between the cube and the pyramid. Turning off the cube.
He wants to call me Cassius.
The
Like,
rectangle
sup,
surrounding the White
Cassius.
House is also made up
Of
of a
course,
pair of
I don't really want to fuck with that name.
This time with 5, 12, 13.
What is the White House there?
3, 4, 5,
Sorry,
and
Cassius.
5, 12, 13
Cassius
are the
Clay.
first two Pythagorean triplets. As you'll begin to appreciate,
That name's such like a fuck you.
figures prominently in decoding this mystery. Where have we seen an unfinished pyramid before? On the back of the dollar bill, of course. If
Yeah.
we
You've seen this.
I stand to be corrected. I'm stating opinions.
pyramid,
So now you're using the same proportions as. Yeah,
I think these are really strong arguments too. Like, I'm a trans activist.
Like more like right around here.
Cassius Clay. Like, okay, call me Cassius Clay. Like, you can also play more like, yeah, like, it's more like Tommy. Anyway.
The White
Like-
House is more like right here. Right.
And then Toma could pull from blue. It's like, be ready to like play melee with them. Like Shabiro's hella good at melee.
And what you see is like.
Toma's also good at melee. Like,
These are the landmarks, right?
just
So
play
it's-
Mars. Like,
so you're not, when you're making the infrastructure.
You're allowed to self-identify.
The Masons built the infrastructure. This is based in U.S. history. Yeah. And they'll just put some food,
Like,
like,
you're now imposing your worldview onto my worldview. Like,
Same parking lot, same Mason lot. Right?
what? So
I also
Shabiro, should I say that you have to be Christian? Like,
Read a page of.
no, I think Shabiro actually hella agrees with what I'm saying. Actually, ironically.
And I believe that there is a systemic culture within.
People misrepresent Shabiro strawman Shabiro's
And I've
sins.
made several videos about this. Okay. So to take down
To
our
make
content,
Shabiro feel like the inferior man, make
especially
yourself
when
feel
you're
like the
always
superior man.
supposed to set content, right? To please get like everyone at YouTube.
He also has a wife, you know what I mean? Like, these people have families, you know.
When it goes out, probably about like 10 minutes. This compilation is the property of the Supreme Grand Chapter of Royal Ark Freemasons of Victoria. I'm not saying that's actually going to happen, alright? Of course not. Alright, this compilation is the property of the Supreme Grand Chapter of Royal Ark Freemasons of Victoria. It is issued by the Grand Scribe E only, and no other person is authorized to print or publish the same or any part thereof. Issued on express condition that it is not to be used in the chapter. Alright, it's printed in 1923 actually. Let's just. Cool. Recorded. Just double checking. This was my grandfather's, or my great grandfather's actually. My grandfather was also a Mason. Served in World War II in the Australian Navy. So let's read page 4 really fast. Alright. So it's Hebrew. So what you're gonna see in this video too, you're gonna see Star David as well. Okay. And let's actually really fast. Just
With the same
before I continue.
all-seeing eye of providence, we are directed to a specific building.
So which ones are the people here?
So
Is
again,
this
if you were to contest the way that he has drawn
And the
lines,
people is what Cody said. I hella agree with. Like, they what they do is they work your perspective, so your vantage point, right? They want, and it's a vantage point too. Like a triangle is also like a road, right? Like your perspective, your vantage point, the horizon line, right? So what they want to do is control how you see shit. So they don't like the idea of someone self-identifying. Okay. Like actually self-identifying, you know,
now on you
changing your name, so forth and so on.
Your own video on Google Earth to contest how he has. You know, it's just that like if you're building the infrastructure, if the Masons are building the infrastructure, then I'm not getting ahead of myself.
Is the eye of providence we are looking at, or its older incarnation?
Okay, again, on the dollar bill we have the pyramid, so we have like symbolism from Egypt, right? So like Egyptian symbolism. Okay, the pyramid, and I believe, in my opinion, the few ruling the many. Right. So the few ruling the money. That's how you rule the many, right? Because then you can buy out media outlets, then you can buy so forth and so on, and incite violence towards like inflame race relations, so forth and so on. It's so unfair that our content so expressed. So okay, so and this is what, dude? NASA gets $64 million at.
Like, we worked really hard. It's also just a multimedia collective. Like, I have to do all this fucking PR. Like,
also, have you ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, this is the Eye of Providence.
because they make it so you can't have fun. Like,
so, what building is this then? Okay. Let's just go back here really fast.
Much of the underlying geometry of the city.
So these monuments are lining up pretty well, and as you can see, there's like trees here. That how does that? Are we getting the mouse? Is the mouse showing? No, okay, that sucks. Alright, whatever. That blows. Sometimes they give us the mouse, sometimes they don't.
On his informative site, dcsymbols.com,
That
he
blows.
sees the following diagram in the streets and interconnection of monuments.
So when you're
the geometry consists of a pentagram over a
infrastructure for a city,
all contained within an overarching pyramid.
Why not?
Each one of these shapes carries a meaning we'll be exploring. We'll see later in Egypt how the pentagram symbolizes the microcosm, which is everything in the universe, human scale or smaller. The cube is a recurrent esoteric symbol for the body that we'll be running into all over the world. I found a pair of 3, 4, 5 triangles between the cube and the pyramid. Turning off the cube layer, you see the rectangle surrounding the White House is also made up of a pair of interlocking triangles, this time with 5, 12, 13.
right, because once you say that Shapiro has to identify religiously differently, kind of like you're being anti-Semitic.
Are the first two Pythagorean triplets. As you'll begin to appreciate, Pythagorean knowledge figures prominently in decoding this mystery. Where have we seen an unfinished pyramid before? On the back of the dollar bill, of course.
Okay, so now we have lined
if
up
we
these
illuminate
landmarks.
the DC pyramid with the
That's
same all-seeing eye of Providence.
So what? The White House is down here. So what building is right here is the question.
Directed to a specific building. Is this the Eye of Providence we are looking at, or its older incarnation as the Eye of Horus?
Egyptian
Either
symbolism.
way, what is behind the all-seeing Eye of the Sun?
It's right, like Oracle Bacon, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. So people will talk about this.
Which goes by many names, including the Supreme Council, Mother Council of the World, and House of the Temple. This building is loaded with Egyptian symbolism, with a 13-step unfinished pyramid on top, just like on the dollar bill, and 2 giant sphinxes.
And if you say that this is a conspiracy theory or whatever, well, how is it a conspiracy theory? And what is your specific merit? Like, I'm not. What I'm showing you is that the Freemasons is not a secret society. It's not a conspiracy theory.
I'm not inciting
They built the infrastructure, and they print the fucking money. So like that's all I'm saying, and they're Hebrew. Like, and that's all I'm saying. So you want to add or subtract something from what I'm saying, because you would get cracked in these video games, dude. Like,
the altar is a double cube, pure white, and bearing on its west side
in a fight
the
too,
initials
for
of
that matter.
3 GMs, and below them the double T. The top of the altar should be fitted with a square plate of gold, bearing a circle and a triangle of the same metal. The apex of the triangle must be towards the E. W on the triangle should be arranged to read opposite the direction in which the hands of a clock move, and the top of each letter being toward the center of the triangle. The W on the circle is read in the same direction as the face of a clock. The bottom of each letter being towards the center. The first part is placed on the E opposite the apex of the triangle, and the 2 remaining parts opposite the 2 other angles. The three Hebrew characters are to be placed within the angles of the triangle, the Aleph in the E, the Beth in the NW, the Lamed in the SW. The altar must be provided with a cover of convenient size and made of white satin fringed with characters on the top of the altar satin fringed with crimson and tasseled with gold. The characters on the top of the altar should be arranged immediately before the opening of the chapter and concealed by the cover. Alright, so what I want to point out, the three Hebrew characters are to be placed within the angles of the triangle. The Aleph in the E, the Beth in the NW, and the Lamed.
Like, the world's super religious. I mean, it says in God we trust on the dollar bill too. Like, when I say Tova, it says that means God is good.
And I'm Hebrew.
America, as shown on the back
I believe in
of the
creators.
$1 bill.
Actually, simulation
Let's
theory.
start with
Elon
the
Musk.
obverse side of the Great Seal. That's the side with the eagle. Most important to our current line of inquiry, let's count the number of feathers on the wings. The left
Which is
wing
to
has
say, I
33
believe we're living
feathers,
in
and
intelligent
the right
design.
wing has 32. Could these refer to the 33 harmonics or 32 overtones just discussed in relation to the Schumann resonance? I think Rick Campbell has correctly decoded the controlling geometry. Three circles with their centers on each other's circumferences form a kind of double vesica Pisces, if you will. A vesica Pisces is formed whenever two equally sized circles come together, such that their centers are on each other's circumferences. A Star of David emerges from the three circles' intersection points. Examining the reverse of the Great Seal, we find the same controlling geometry. Look at the letters picked out of the mottos Annuit Coptis and Novus Ordo Seclorum.
So basically, it's like if
Never
you
mi-
transpose like basically like yeah, right, cross dissolve, compare the Star of David to this symbol here with this logo, and you just look at each point beyond the pyramid, right, and the other 5 points.
Mind right now what these mottos signify. The letters at the points of the Star of David are A, S, N, O, and M. Rearranging, we get Mason.
Yeah. You want to point out, so Masons both, clearly there's, okay, so the dollar, the imagery on the dollar lines up with the, so I'm not trying to incite violence, dude. Like, I'm saying that I'm being funny, right? Like I'm anti-establishment because I believe that, and I've made many videos about this, there's a rape culture within Masonry, alright, and like a pedophilia, like pedophile culture within Masonry. Masonry's the establishment, so you have to have money to build the infrastructure in the first place, right? So, these are the people who are hoarding the wealth, in my opinion. So, I believe this will probably have a lot to do with the Federal Reserve as well, but I don't want to give too much room for Kid Muddy to come there. Right? I'd rather have Kid Muddy come to attract me.
The Kid Muddy is like makes the argument longer.
Basically,
Right.
like
Yeah, we'll talk about the Federal Reserve then. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Fuck that.
So, if you can compare the symbol on the...
They're printing the money. The Masons are printing the money, and they build the infrastructure. That's all I know. Right.
On the money.
And then they have they're the pupil in the fucking eye.
Right, so basically...
And if you don't agree with that, you're fucking high. All right.
Infrastructure in Washington, D.C. prints the money. Right. So basically, at that point, you can be sure, and if it's a Mason...
Do we have to watch the Da Vinci Code again? Oh, dude, it's like they mathematics, Hebrew.
But I'm trans Hebrew, so it's okay. Like John Jones is Christian, for example. But me and John Jones are gonna take down this. Like we're just being like.
They control the money. That's how they fucking play, dude.
Bit, you know. All right. So beyond that, I want to share one more thing.
So they make sure that they're not putting IKEA.
Really talk about this a little bit.
That won't have outsourced jobs in a red light community.
Okay, well, our content suppressed, but at least it's all
And they bought the computer
It
stores
felt
and
like
stole
they
my
had
computer.
certain privileges and certain disadvantages,
It's unbelievable.
which I
Like,
think
they
is
are
real,
unbelievable.
But now you
They're
can have
fucking
videos
unbelievable.
and suppressing the content, which is scary. So YouTube Studio.
And they put hella people out of work when they did that.
Let's look at this.
Just to get like Dan's computer. Like it's unreal. Like No. Like we were watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Alright, I'll continue to establish this. We're watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Alright. They okay, like all of a sudden it shut off.
This is scary because like I can't re-upload. This is where I'm storing all the content to.
I end up re-uploading to Strawman Dam. But yeah, we'll end that one there. Like, okay. Like, the way they play stuff, like, we're watching Computer Enthusiasm, the computer just shut off all of a sudden. Okay, it was working fucking fine. Me and my mom dropped it off at the computer repair store to get diagnosed. And then they said it was, like, the motherboard. And then, like, shortly thereafter, the computer repair shop, like, closed. Okay, like, and now, like, we called them several times, and, like, they won't respond, like, basically, like, the computer repair shop is, like, ground zero now, I guess. And, like, they, like, so, like, you know, what a coincidence. And now I can't get my fucking computer back. They had, like, Final Cut Express and, like, iMovie HD on it. It was basically, like, running, like, Snow Leopard. With all that said, I will do a quick arcade mode run. I'll just play as Morgan. For Me Too and, trans rights, right, self-identify. And I believe they're the same thing in a way, like logically. Like I think that like basically if you rape someone or molest someone and they say no, you have imposed your worldview onto them. Or that you think that they want you're saying yes for them. Like you're identifying for them. So like to say yes is to no is to identify as yes and no, like semantics kind of, right? So when you rape someone or molest someone, you have stripped them of their right to self-identify. And so if you say that Shapiro, for example, even to be more inflammatory about this, like that Shapiro is actually being less inflammatory. That Shapiro must, he's not allowed to be Hebrew. Like, really, this guy's shit they do, man. Okay, so I'm gonna do a arcade mode run for Me Too and trans, because I think it's the same thing. Like, you're allowed to self-identify. So so beyond that, like, get cracked. Okay, so you identify yes, so that she said no, but you said that yes meant when she said no, it meant yes. All right, it's like kind of like chess, and one of the very best. So I think they're the same thing. I think that rape is the same thing. It's kind of like the same, logically speaking. It's the same fucking thing. Like it's just identifying for someone. And so I am allowed to be Daniel April Sullivan Ravine. And so you're super discriminatory, like unbelievably discriminatory, if you say otherwise. You're just high. Like, I wouldn't fucking strip you of your right to self-identify. Like, what's your problem? Why? Because, like, harder to attack me if I'm trans or something? Like Ravine, I also agree with my wife, or, like, my girl about this. Ravine. That's my feminine, one of, to identify my feminine characteristics. Right. So we're on the same page here. I hope. So people, it does not matter what you say. Like they're just, it has nothing to do with the theological framework or the argument at hand. It has more to do with like their own like feelings about themselves, basically. So I've been playing Morgan. What you want to watch out for, guys, is like basically why I believe Morgan's the best character in this game is Jump Back Fireball. Okay. Because, okay, a dive kick, as mentioned this in one of the recent streams, but like a dive kick is like, basically a dive kick is really broken is like this diagonal, like from the air, this diagonal hitbox that basically just like it just covers like if they like go forward towards you, it'll probably get cracked. It's hard to get underneath the dive kick, and like it's hard to like get past the dive kick basically. Like if their character's here and you're up here, like you're here, right? They're here, and they dive kick, you'll probably get cracked. Okay, but and that brings your body closer to them too. So like you could get cracked too. Like they could like be like Marth and just like be like chop their sword at you, and then like you got punished for dive kick. But because it's a projectile and you don't even have to move your body closer to them, if Marth like is like Marth or something, right? You're just shooting this diagonal fireball. It's super safe. It's non-committal, and then it has like kind of like all the powers of dive kick without any of like the risk of dive kick, in my opinion. Like having like a jump back fireball is completely cheap. She doesn't have less health bar like a Kuma does, you know. Like a Kuma does. She has less health bar. Kuma. Oh, what's that? And Morgan, like, what's really cool is that you get this rush down, kind of like a short up, like this rush down right there, right? But like, honestly, Morgan, just jumping in and doing that is really good to do. Like, and these controllers are cool too. The fight pads are so dope if you get your hands on them. They're not as good for like games with like really high, APM. Like actually, this game, depending on the character, you have high APM. But Blue Guy, Morgan's for me. Like you don't have to press as many buttons. Alright, so there's like a one frame grab in this game. You grab with forward and it's really lenient. So here's what's so cheap is that you can grab with medium kick, forward to medium kick, but it also gets this. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's just cheap. Like you don't have to like really get, like you'll get one or the other. Like it's too lenient. Like, because if you don't get grab, you'll get medium kick. You don't get medium kick, you'll get grab. Like, so if you walk forward and press this button as Morgan, or just as any character, is broken in this game. Yeah, forward and medium kick, grab. So, that's like that shit. I do that a lot. Also, neutral jump, fireball. Like, just get dive kick without doing anything, right? Do you see why Morgan's the best character? You're like, this is not fair to my opponent. Right. And you can also time, and you air block as well. Like, and never more so stick and move. Like, you see, I'm not really combo driven. Like, I'm pulling from Brawley, and I like medium kick, like jump in, then light and medium, like. But I don't have to jump in. Like, I can do that. Morgan's cheap as fuck. I identify as Chris too. It's Chris with the. I like doing that. And also, I played a decent amount of Third Strike too. Like this game does have like this similar physics engine to Third Strike. I like going for that second kick, then jump back fireball. Yeah. What I'm playing is really optimal in my opinion. Like even though it's different, it's like it's not optimal on paper, but in practice actually it makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of people like play too much on paper. Not that like again, this arcade mode run for Me Too, and trans rights. And as you can see, that Morgan's on the left there, in protective, guarded stance. Because you're not allowed to say yes for someone. Dumb fuck. Okay. Oh yeah, you can block and then do a button right after, which is really cool in the air. This game's good as fuck. If you play Melee or you're looking into like getting into like one of the Capcom fighters, this is my game. Like this one, like I kind of feel like more like Ryan with this game. Like there might be other people who are good, but like for me it's like I'm B-Rate Ranger. It's like the horror movie Capcom fighter, and also I just like really like it, you know. And